So I have to be careful that this doesn't fill up with... Well, I've dealt with it, kind of. But as I said before, CO2 sinks. So you have to be a little bit careful with when you're digging downwards. Really, you should always go upwards, because the bad gases are always going to come down, with the exception of another gas which we'll encounter later on, which is wonderful hydrogen, which always rises and is unbreathable. But CO2 sinks. So CO2 always goes down. So if you're building downwards and you've got oxygen and CO2 together, the CO2 will always sink down. So you have to be careful that you're not going to kill your duplicates when they're working in CO2. These are slowly going along nicely. That room's been dug out. Brilliant. Okay, so let's... That's a lot of carbon dioxide again. Well, I'm actually going to deal with that by... I'm going to deal with that by mining into it. And I'm going to mine into it in a specific place, just here. Because the oxygen should then... Sorry, the carbon dioxide should then sink down and be dealt with by this terrarium over time. So, although I can't access this room right now, well, I can access it, but it's so full of carbon dioxide, the terrarium is going to slowly convert the carbon dioxide into oxygen. So it's going to be breathable in a little while. So if I break through here, the carbon dioxide will slowly sink down into this room until it fills, and then it will start filling up here. So I could block it off, but I'm not going to. So let's deconstruct this ladder here, because we don't need that anymore. So, as I said before, oxygen always rises. Now, at the moment, the room is capped off here. So the oxygen is going no further than here. Now, your best way to utilise that is airflow tiles. So the oxygen's being created here, and because of the airflow tiles, the oxygen rises, comes into here. Then, when I make a room above this one, I can spread out that oxygen even further if I put some airflow tiles in here. Oh, God, look at that. Crude painting. Plus 11 decor. Wow. Shame I can't get them to tell them to redraw it. That looks really, really bad. We'll leave it for now. So there we go. We've broken through into there. The oxygen's starting to rise up into there. And the carbon dioxide is starting to seep down into here. So everyone's now got a bed, so they should make their way to their beds. Why have I only got... Oh, Hayes is eating. Billy was making food. So once Hayes finishes eating, she should go to bed. Have I got an all-female IKEA? I think I've got an all-female IKEA. This Devon dreams of owning their own personal computer so they can start a blog full of pictures of toast. Everybody wants pictures of toast because toast is happy. Stats. Spiders just want everyone to be happy. Yes, they do. They don't exactly cause that effect on everyone, but they just want everyone to be happy. What does Hayes want? I've never seen these before. Hayes is admired by all for seemingly tireless work ethic. Little do people know she's dying on the inside. Oh, I want to give her a hug. What about Billy? If I can select Billy. Billy. Billy is a charming, delightful woman unless you make the mistake of messing with one of her friends. Sounds like the friend you should have. Okay, so let's put one of our research supercomputers up here now. And I'm also going to put in some lights. So let's run some power into the machine. We can just go straight across. And we'll go straight across here as well. I know I can go straight up, but I don't like doing that. I have to be careful now. How have I got So the power is fine at the moment. They're not putting a huge amount of stress on the wires. So that's something I need to keep an eye on later on. But we're good at the moment. If you put too much stress on the wires, they end up overheating and exploding! Which sounds very dramatic, but it isn't, believe me. It just means that the circuit will blow at some point and you'll need to replace the wires. You can research heavy-duty wires later on, but for now, it's not needed. So, why is Devon doing researching? Devon shouldn't be doing researching, should he? Devon is a bad researcher. Stop researching, Devon. You're bad. Devon should not be doing art either. I'm guessing that's who did that one. Okay. Slowly working through. Okay, so I've got another room down here that I need to decide what I'm going to do with. I think in the last episode I had decided what I'm going to do down here, but I honestly have completely and utterly forgotten. How are we looking in temperature? Is everybody fairly warm? Everyone's fairly warm. It's temperate. It's generating a bit of heat in here, but that's fine. The light's generating a bit of heat. That's also fine. So we don't need any heaters for now. Everyone was kind of happy. Oh, well, shall I turn this into my medical station, actually? That might be a good idea. Oh no, they need an outhouse again. They need somewhere to go to the loo. Lavatories. Oh, look at that. As if almost by magic. So lavatories need water pumped into them, and they need bad water being pumped out of them. So for a proper medical station, I need a refrigerator and I need a lavatory. So I might make this the little medical bay, so to speak. We'll deconstruct these because we don't need them. I know what I do need. I need a storage room. So let's make a storage room. We'll dig up here and we'll turn this into a storage room. There is so much CO2 down here. That is crazy. Research. So the next one was meal prep. So we've got the refrigerator. Got a new duplicate. Anything good? 0, -5. So let's only really look at these guys. Binge eater, that's fine. Decor, fine with foods. Stats aren't the greatest. Learning, tinkering, construction, learning, cooking, medicine. I don't honestly need anyone right now, so I'm just going to reject them all for now. Oxygen. Ah, we got the deodorizer, so we can start to deal with the polluted oxygen in here. Polluted oxygen. What's the weight of polluted oxygen? Is it... what? Temperature... I don't know if... I think polluted oxygen rises. I don't think it sinks. So I think you want to put the deodorizer higher up in the room. So, right. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm actually going to make this storage for bad materials. So I'm going to dig this out. Dig. I'm then going to put... I'm going to change the storage back to here to storing materials that are dodgy. So algae, slime, and polluted dirt. So let's get rid of that. So anything that's dodgy now gets put into here. And what we can do, we can put another storage unit here. And we'll put a deodorizer next to it. So there we go. All the dodgy materials go into there, which starts stinking out the area. Then the deodorizer sucks it in and deals with it. I like this idea. We'll reopen the door. How are we looking for food? We're looking good on calories at the moment, so we're all right with our 5 food baskets at the moment. We've dug through up here. Brilliant. Fine. So everything's going hunky-dory at the moment. Billy is slowly researching. Fine, no problems. Hayes is still working on power generation when needed. Yeah, the battery up here is flat and the batteries down here are flat, so that's good. Everything's progressing nicely. This is going to get made into storage here. So, oh no, we don't want one on the first tile. We want it on the second tile. Because this one becomes a door. Although it's a door to nothing at the moment, but hey. That gives them tasks to do for now. So we'll just watch them as they go. Thing is, when there's research, unfortunately, is like, although it's great that they're researching and progressing along, but it's also bad because that's one person that's then preoccupied with, you know, not digging. Hayes is generating power, so unfortunately that pretty much puts Hayes out of the question for anything. Devon is still making lice loaves. Is this generating bad things? Oh, it creates food poisoning. Wonderful. Which also, in this also creates food poisoning, doesn't it? Yes, it also creates food poisoning. Wonderful. This is a really diseased area. So what I might actually do is once I need to really reorganize things. Okay, so let's think about this. So, to make a lavatory, we need to have a water pump pumping in water, and we need an area for the polluted water to go. So, the showers are going to be the same. So I need a room made to put polluted water in. I need to try and keep it away from my normal water supply. Because the last thing you want... Ooh, we're only just keeping the power on here. What's going on? Why are you struggling to generate power all of a sudden? What's using up so much power? Oh no, it's still going up quite substantially. Okay, so what I might actually do is turn this into like a power generating room. But I need to figure out a pump to get the water in. So the pump's going to have to come in here, which is fine. Which is going to pump water. Let's think about this. Pump water up. And keep going up. And across. And down. So that is going to be my source of water in. So I then also need to figure out where I'm going to put the water. So I'm going to need to dig another room. I'm tempted to use this one here, but the problem is it's right above this water supply. And if should any of this sand give away, I think the water would end up down here. So, and I don't want to have the two water supplies mix. If I can avoid it at least. So. I wonder where I should put this water. That is a question. That is a question I should ask. I'm thinking it might end up in here. See, it would make sense because then the water doesn't have to go a huge distance. Which is the best thing. In fact, I'm going to do that. So, let's dig here. And let's dig out in here. Is this a vacuum? That's fine. A vacuum I can deal with. It's just going to drop the water pressure for a while. Right, so yeah, this is going to where all the wastewater is going to end up. I'm going to dig quite a big square, and then I'm going to line it with tiles. And then I'm going to fill it full of water. I normally like to do a double skin of tiles just in case the tiles give way. Because the tiles, I think, are only made of sand. I think. Is it sandstone? They're sandstone. So they're not the strongest in the world. So I normally like to go 2 tiles wide. So let's deconstruct this one here. And we'll do a ladder all the way down. So let's go... So there's a lot of sand right below this again. Let's make this one quite deep. So let's go, let's say, like I said, 2 tiles. 2 tiles. One. That is a really big area. Do I want it that big? I think it's better to have it too big than too small. I think it's definitely better to have it too big than too small. But what I might do is make it kind of this wide, maybe? Or maybe this wide? Yeah, I think I might have it a little bit... These are double thick as well, I have to remember, so... Okay. So let's carry on digging this all. This is all ore, so we're always going to use it. This is going to be ladders all the way down.